Promote it on the 6PR Community Bulletin Board. Email details to community@6pr.com.au. Proudly brought to you by Hyundai. All day, every day, WA. 6PR, part of your community.
Until midnight, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley on 882 6PR.
Ben Aylett here from benaylett.com to talk technology. G'day, Ben.
G'day, Chris. How you going?
All right, what's news? What's happening?
Well, we're still in International Cybersecurity Month, so we'll have a cybersecurity tip. You can also still send in your questions to mailbag@benaylett.com.
All right, so just remember that email address for Ben mailbag at benaylett.com.
Yes. Cool. There we go.
All right.
And we've actually had someone send in a question. We've had Norman send in a question.
Yep.
And he's asking, when is iOS 13 available on the iPhone 6S? Well, iOS 13 is coming to the 6S and it is available now. So go and check for updates and install them.
Don't they often send you a note out, say you have updates, would you like to receive them?
You'll get a little, like a little flag on your settings.
Yep.
So if you have a look at your settings on your phone, you'll see like a little red dot on it. And if you follow your nose, it'll take you through to the software update, and you can click on software update and just go ahead and do it.
Tell me, how many of these updates just happen? You don't actually actively have to say, yeah, I'll do it. You might be asleep 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They rock up.
There are automatic updates, and they do happen as long as you've got it set for automatic updates. I actually actively go out and look for updates. So typically at the start of the working week or at the end of the week, I do a check for updates and a reset at least once a week on my PCs, on my computers. And for phones and devices and other devices like that, so phones and tablets, they get checked out every couple of weeks.
All right. 922 is our number. G'day, Muzzer.
Yeah, g'day, boys. So, just a quick one for you, Ben. You might know this, true or not.
Sure.
I got told by a guy at JB Hi-Fi recently that most of the smartphones nowadays are going the same way of like when I got my new 8.1, that all your notification noises, text messages and the whole lot, are all the one noise. I can't get a different noise like a text or an email or some other notification. It's all the same sound. And I don't like that because I don't know what's the difference. I'm getting noises coming through. Yeah, it's all the same noise. There's a text, there's an email. What is it like, you know?
I'd imagine it'd go the other way because
You'd be able to get more, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd expect more. So I don't know. I'd be calling our friend out on that. I'd be saying, that's probably not quite true.
It's quite frustrating. You don't know a text from an email or something else. It's all have the same noise. I can't get a different noise for each one. Like, you know.
So what were they going to say? Standard ringtones?
Just a standard noise, like for notifications, like say emails or text messages. It's just all the one noise. I can't get a different noise for each one. Like one for text, one for Gmail, like emails, and a noise for another thing, a different noise. You know, a different sound. You know.
Well, that's no fun. Can't have that.
It's not. So I'm thinking about taking the bloody phone back. To be honest.
I was going to say, Ben, you're going to have to carry out an investigation.
Yeah.
And if your investigation reveals the information Muzzer's been given is true, we then have to find out who to complain.
Then we got a problem. No, I'm sure it can be configured. I'm sure there is a way.
I'd be surprised. Muzzer, the reason why I'd be surprised is because being able to offer people all those fancy little tricks and fun things is actually a selling point, even though sometimes some people say, look, I hate all this stuff. I just want it simple. Lots of people like all that. And like you say, you want something, that's an SMS. Or that's somebody. I don't know about you. I've got a separate ringtone for the wife.
Yeah, it's good to have different noises or different tones of sounds for each type of thing. Like, you know, it's common sense.
Yeah.
Then if the tax office were calling you, you'd have a different ringtone again. Something like, alert, run, leave the country, or something like that.
Yeah. That's just weird. I would not expect that to happen. I'd expect the complete opposite.
Sounds wrong, mate, because apart from anything else, even if that happened, you'd end up with somebody making an app, wouldn't you, that would allow you to be able to download it to do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
More investigation, Muzz. Thank you for that.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, mate, we can't have this. No. I don't know who we complain to, but consider yourself complained to.
All right.
G'day, Callan.
I'll take care of it.
G'day, mate. A man rang your station earlier today and he said about the greening of Australia, coming out from the coast.
How does this apply as a tech question, mate? Ben's here to talk technology.
It really doesn't. It's the only way.
Well, that's all right, mate. Good night.
All right.
We
got rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the number one rule is you don't mess with Big Chris or Big Ben. I never thought of that. Big Ben. Yeah. And now you got past Kira, you're on her list. Mate.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
Don't want to be there.
Got your number, son.
You lied to Kira. My God.
Can't do that.
What was that line I used before about leaving town? Yeah, leave town.
Yep.
Lied to Kira.
That's it.
Nothing I can do to save you.
Nope. Anyway.
Carrying on. Now,
Carrying on.
Yes. You were talking about these updates for Norman.
Yes.
What's the update for the phone? He wanted iOS
13. So iOS 13 is out. There have been small security patches released as well. So I think we're at 13.1.2 because, as always, when you get the brand new version of iOS or Android, there are little patches that come along afterwards just to fix a couple of wrinkles.
I love the way Ben puts it. He's a master of understatement, fixes wrinkles.
Yeah.
There are so many things I want to say here. Instead, Ryan's waiting to have a chat to us, so we'll talk to him instead. G'day, Ryan.
How you going, boys?
Good, mate.
Very well.
It's good. Just a quick question. It might sound silly, but like I've got a sound system at home, right? Hooked up to the TV, LG.
Yeah.
So it's sound system and the TV. And what we've found, we just got a Telstra box, little Telstra T-box.
Oh, how good are they?
Well, it's not that good because for some reason, whenever we turn it off, it disconnects from the LG surround. And then every time I turn it back on, I've got to go into the TV and, you know what I mean, and link the sound back up. You know anything about that or?
Okay, it would have a lot to do
I'm thinking
with...
it's going to be a sound issue, not a Telstra box issue.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the way that it's hooked up. So how do you have the speakers or the sound system plugged into the TV or the Telstra TV?
Well, what I used to have, I just have the HDMI from the ARC into the TV.
Yep.
And then I just turn the TV off and it would turn the sound system off, or turn it on and it would turn it on as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Well, that sounds like the way it should go. That's what I'd expect.
Yeah.
So when you've plugged the Telstra TV in, how does that all work now?
Well, all that just goes from a HDMI into, say, HDMI 1, right?
Yeah.
And so, but from some unknown reason, when I turn the Telstra box off now, because that runs the whole TV now, you know, the one remote, it just goes back to the TV sound every time we turn it off. You know, I'm just wondering if there's something's, you know, I wouldn't have a clue. It's past me, but beyond me, you know. Yeah.
There would be some menu settings in the TV, I'd say, because this is where we want to control everything. So we could either disable the ARC. So ARC is one of those features that allows one device to control another.
Yeah.
And in this case, it would be the TV controlling the speakers. But I would probably try turning that off or disabling it or plugging it into something else and seeing what sort of results you get from that. So that way your speakers are always going, which is not really a bad thing.
I love it.
Yeah. Actually, what you could do, those speakers, do they have the SPIDF or like the optical little fibre optic cable as an input? Is that available?
You're speaking to the wrong bloke. I only know that's about as much as I know, man, you know?
All right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering if you might know. I reckon it's worthwhile me getting someone in. As soon as I got that T-box, it just was running like a well-oiled machine, and then that came on. It's just, I just don't know what to do, you know?
Yep. So obviously with this change, it's caused some problems. It's just changed the way things work. I think if you were to get that little optic connection between the speakers and the TV, and this is usually like a small fibre optic cable. And
okay, cool.
It's got almost like a small square socket in the TV and a small square socket in the...
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I am now, yeah.
Okay.
So could you buy them separately, do you?
Yep. Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get the cable to go between the TV and the speakers, always have the speakers running, and then just have that optical link providing the signal for your audio, which is very common. And actually, it's pretty good quality too. So I would give it a go.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful, mate. Do I have time to ask you one small thing, or are you too busy?
Yeah, just quickly.
I'm on the air taking calls,
well,
mate.
Just quickly, like when you know, with your surround system, right? When if you change it to say cinema or sport, or do you reckon that makes a difference or not?
It kind of changes the delay between the speakers just to give that bigger room effect.
Oh, it does. It also changes the equalisation of the sound.
Yeah, it changes the equalisation, changes the timing. It might even do something fancy like throwing in a little bit of reverb.
Oh, cool. Anyway, I love the show. Thanks a lot, boys. Take care.
No, thanks very much for
mate.
that, Ryan. Yeah, that's a really good question. Hello, Tom.
Hey, good evening, guys. Chris and Ben. My question is about a battery for my wife's phone, which is a iPhone 6 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple of days ago, she noticed that it wasn't holding the charge for very long.
Right.
So I got a new battery put in at one of these little phone kiosks in the shopping center down the road.
Yep.
And the guy told me, look, the old battery was only holding 60%.
Yes.
He says, so it's no good, so you have to change it. So charge me full price, put a new battery in, and this new battery is doing the same thing.
Oh, dear. Okay. Well, definitely it would be on our friend in the kiosk to go and fix that. So I would actually take it back and say, look, it still doesn't seem to be holding any charge, and do your best to nicely ask for another replacement.
Great.
No worries, mate.
A replacement for the replacement. Most of these things come with a guarantee anyway, don't they?
They should do. So,
well, no, actually, let me rephrase that. They have to do because under West Australian consumer law,
there we go.
You have an obligation and a reasonable expectation that a product as presented will give what they term a reasonable amount of service.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Any doubts, have a chat to Dave Hilliard at Consumer Protection.
And there is the word from Chris. Perfect.
922 11882 if you'd like to have a chat to Ben. By the way, his website, benaylett.com. That's where you'll find all of his contact information.
Yep.
He is identified by his Hawaiian shirt, which I'm pleased to note he is wearing this week.
Start your day the right way.
Today, Millsy, at Morning Recess, they will sell their 200,000th cheesy.
Oh, it's a bit of fun, no doubt about that, but I reckon I could make up a figure and say the tuck shop down the road today will sell their 500,000th sausage roll.
Steve, where's your sense of adventure?
With Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis.
It is, Steve. The math was 30 trays of cheesies, 8 cheesies to a tray, twice a week, over 40 weeks, over 10 years, 192,000.
Breakfast with Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis. Tomorrow morning from 5 on 882 6PR. Or catch up now at 6pr.com.au.
When it comes to developing, there's an easy way to unlock your block's potential. With the right advice from New Choice Developments, you could double or triple the value of your block. New Choice Developments will give you a free, no-obligation site assessment. Draw up plans to make the most of your block's potential, taking care of finance, approvals and construction, with units starting from $135,000. Call New Choice Developments today on 9201 BC 13070.
How many smiles are in your bank account? How many laughs? How many hugs and shoulders to lean on? When you add it up after all these years, is there anything that counts more? Hetherington Funerals can help you create a legacy that will forever transform and inspire those whose lives you've touched. Visit hetheringtonfunerals.com.au or call a member of our family on 62635131. Plan ahead, leave well, be remembered.
Trafalgar is the freedom to discover and the confidence to explore. Book your 2020 European holiday, 11 days or more with Trafalgar, and fly for only $699. Phone 1-800-002-007 or see your travel agent. Ends October 31, subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
Need to choose a home or business loan that's right for you? Choose the experts at Sapienza Finance, the 2018 FBAA Broker of the Year for WA. Call 9368 2466 or go to sapienzafinance.com.au.
Excuse me, you're Adam, right?
Yeah, I'm Adam.
The Adam who bought his hearing aids at Specsavers?
Yeah, that Adam.
The Adam who got quoted almost twice the price elsewhere, then got top-of-the-range hearing aids at Specsavers?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, hey, everyone, it's Adam. He's the one.
Get your hearing aids at Specsavers and you'll never hear the end of it. We've got everyday low prices with no hidden fees. Sounds good? To book your free 15-minute hearing check or find a store near you, visit specsavers.com.au/hearing.
Pick a country.
Come and fly away with me.
If you could go anywhere,
Come and fly away with me.
where would you go? 6PR is giving you the world with $20,000 travel money.
There's also luggage to be won.
Thanks to Antler,
The champions of lightweight luggage.
for your chance to win $20,000 travel money.
Register now.
At 6pr.com.au.
Come and fly away with me.
edge you go.
This is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley on 882 6PR.
Ben Aylett's website is just that, benaylett.com. That's also where you'll find all of his contact information. By the way, if you'd like to have a chat to Ben, one of those technical questions, looking at something going, yes, well, that's on its last legs. 92211 may not be, actually.
Yeah, call in.
It might be resurrectable.
It could be. It usually is.
Yeah, that's true. Hi, Bill.
Oh, hello, Chris. I've got a question for Ben. He may be able to help me. It's regarding my Telstra mail.
Okay, fire away, Bill.
Yeah. Look, it's been fine, except in the last few days it's slowed right down. I've spoken to Telstra and they're saying, go through another browser. They haven't been able to help.
Okay.
But what it's doing is when I I log into the Telstra email, it comes up with the message loading, and it takes minutes and sometimes up to 10 minutes to load. Also, when I when it eventually loads and I go into the message, it comes up with a loading message, and it just keeps on going around loading message. And every now and then it comes up with your mail folder could not be retrieved, try again later. But underneath that message, the actual messages are there. So I'm just wondering if, Ben, you may know, because Telstra doesn't seem to know what it is, what's happened in the last few days.
Yeah, that is an odd one. And I'd say they're kind of on the right track about asking you to try a different browser. It is possible that browsers might have some extra plugins or some sort of extra bits that may have been installed without you knowing, or there may have been an update to a web browser, which happens all the time, which may not be working too well with Telstra Mail. So do you know what web browser you're using?
Yeah, look, I've got a new Lenovo. I've had it for about 3-4 months.
Yep.
It's Microsoft Edge.
Ah, right.
And it's been fine until this week.
Yeah. Yep. All right. There have been some updates recently with Microsoft, and I would guess, I'm actually pretty sure that there would have been a little patch for Edge in the meantime, and this could have affected performance because when we write websites, we try to make them work for all browsers, but then when the manufacturers sort of shift the goalposts and change a little thing in the browser, which it could cause a website to stop working the way it should. My recommendation is to try, let's try Firefox. So I would say go and install Firefox and give that a run. And you might be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Thanks very much, Ben.
No worries, mate. And if you want to keep an eye on the speed, you can go to speedtest.net and just check your speed and keep an eye on it.
Really good, that one. It's really good for testing speed. Once again, Bill, thank you very much for that.
Yep.
Now, we are in week 3.
Week 3 of the World International Cybersecurity Month.
Beautiful. So what's week 3's?
Week 3's homework is backup. It's about as fun as going to the dentist, but we know we've got to do it. And
about half as enjoyable.
Yes, it is. So the idea with backups is we apply a simple rule. That simple rule is the 3-2-1 backup rule. So we have 3 copies of data. So 1 live and then 2 copies and 2 different mediums. So that means we have 1 on your hard drive and 1 on an external drive, or something in the cloud storage, just something that's different to what you're usually using. And then 1 backup must be off-site. Now, that could be on an external hard drive at a friend's place or a relative's place, or even better, it could be something in what we call the cloud. So it could be in your OneDrive folder or on Google Drive, or in one of those specialised backup locations online.
What about if you do it on a external drive?
An external drive is fine as long as that external drive is off-site, so away from your home. So what we're trying to do here is we're catering for all sorts of disasters. So be it virus, ransomware, fire, flood, theft. So backups are more than just a cybersecurity measure. They're pretty much a disaster measure.
Ah, right. So what you're saying is they take into account all contingencies.
That's right.
Such as the joint burning down.
Yes.
You've still got all your data off-site.
Yeah. Now, you've also got to keep in mind that you've got to test your backups. Now, how do you test your backups? You go and create a dummy file or folder.
Yep.
So it doesn't have to have anything in it. It just has to be there. You do a backup. Then you delete that file or folder and then you restore that dummy file or folder from backup. If you can restore it, then the system's working. If you can't restore it, then you've either got to get more familiar with the software or the system that's used to recover that file, or you've actually got to look at a different system to make sure it works. Because at the end of the day, if you can't restore from a backup, the backup was no good in the first place.
So is that really the only way you could do that?
That is the best way to do it. So backups, so when you're calling on a backup, it's a bit of a disaster. So when we deal with disasters, what do? We do things like fire drills or evacuation drills. We actually do the physical job of getting out of somewhere really fast and safely. It's the same thing with backups. So the backups are like our evacuation drill for our computers.
Just have to make sure they're doing the job.
That's
Ben,
right.
as always, thank you very much for your time.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll have a chat next week. By the way, don't forget benaylett.com, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett, recognised by his Hawaiian shirts. benaylett.com, that's where you'll find all of Ben's contact information and a heap of other good stuff too.
Do you know a local hero doing great work at a local...